Male body dysmorphia is on track to overtake female body dysmorphia within the next few decades. Does that surprise you?
No, I think it's always been a thing, but especially now with how big social media is and how jacked so many people are, I think, of course, it's a big problem. But do you know there's a guy who's really good at calling people out for editing their photos? Have you seen that guy?
Who?
I don't know his name, but he's got quite a big social media following. And basically, anybody who has photoshops their photo or videos, he gets them.
Oh, wow.
So he's doing a good job. He's making sure that people are being truthful with the things that they're posting. But that makes you think how many people are editing, even people who are literally jacked and shredded, they are still
pushing it,
editing their photos further to bring in their waist, bring out the lats, and just, it's crazy. So, especially with women as well, imagine how bad that is for the average person who's comparing themselves to all these people. And a lot of those people are actually still editing their photos to look even more unattainable.
They've peaked, they've just trained, they've got a pump, they're in good lighting, they've got a good photographer, a good camera, a good lens, they've got a tan, blah, blah, blah. And then on top of that, they're editing their photos as well. Yeah, it's, you know.
I think it's one thing that messed me up a little bit when I competed. So I competed twice. And obviously when you compete, that really is the best that you are going to look probably in your life, especially for me in terms of how low I got my body fat percentage. So when I would look in the mirror, particularly after the show, when it was like more memorable, I would be like, oh, pretty fat.
Because you had yourself.
Because I was comparing myself to the sub 10% body fat person that I was looking in the mirror. Which is like...
Well, that says it all, that not only can you have other people out there in the world, for guys and girls, that make them feel uncomfortable about their body, or they're taller or more jacked or more whatever, but you can also be that for you too. You know, this is... I wanted to talk about this, like, you know, you're 34? 33. I'm 35. And we're getting to the stage where we're like, right, okay, you know... Recovery from workouts takes a little bit longer. Recovery from nights out takes an awful lot longer.
A couple more wrinkles on the forehead. My photographer keeps reminding me of that. Cheers, Rob.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Yeah, just thinking about, as that happens, you almost use yourself as, well, I used to be X or Y, as I used to be this, able to get up and train hard or lift this much or be this lean or eat this many calories or whatever. And then you can't. So you use yourself as your own barometer. And, you know, the discomfort that's associated with that of not being as jacked as you used to be, not being as able to recover from workouts as you used to be. It's like a harsh realization. Like
the body dysmorphia, I think, with me in particular, I've not really been that person that's always compared myself to others, but more so I'm always comparing myself to myself and how good I have looked in the past. That's what I'm always comparing myself to. And you're right. I think, fortunately for me now, I still feel like I don't know if I have peaked. I think, especially if I was to fine tune a few things, the peak is still yet to come. But when I do have these thoughts of, okay, well, it's only downhill from here.
Yeah.
Then I'm like...
You do know that, I think about that and this... whatever you want to call about it, like aging gracefully as a man, whatever that means, right? Probably not taking all of your self-worth from the way you look might be a good place to start. And I think, oh, you know, how difficult it's going to be, recovery from the workouts and not being as jacked and not being the fastest guy in the room or the strongest guy in the room or whatever. But then you realize that that's like women from age 25.
Yeah, I think we as men have got it good. Like we can get older and age and get the grey whiskers, more wrinkles, and if anything, it's still good. Kind of, it might even make you look better. Like I remember, I look back at some footage from when I was even like 27, 28, and I feel personally I look a lot better now. Like I had like, maybe it didn't help that I was like clean shaving myself all the time, but I looked.
You grow into your style a little bit, but yeah, you know, for all that. I can be chronically fearful of my own mortality and getting older and all the rest of it, thinking, yeah, but the speed of descent isn't as rapid as it is for women. So, yeah, the male body dysmorphia thing being on track to overtake female body dysmorphia kind of doesn't surprise me.
I think you you probably just have to be careful with who you're following and who you're comparing yourself to. Like if you were an average guy and you are following the like top 1% of athletes in the world, or the top 0.01%, of course you're going to feel pretty small in comparison to them. So it depends. Like for someone like me, if I am following like the elite,
but you trained with Kai Green this morning.
yeah. So, but
Chris Bumstead's in town at the moment.
So if I'm following them, I'm the type of person that gets inspired by it. Like I get motivated by that. But other people can take it the opposite way and be like, oh, that's unachievable. I'll never get there. And I feel worthless.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with social media now?
Oh, I think I would love to not have to be on it so much, but I know it's something which I need to be doing regularly more than ever. Like especially with what we do in today's day and age, you have to be everywhere. Even to this day, I don't like how I still get sucked into it every single time in terms of the doom scrolling. I go on there to do a task, then I get distracted by something, and then I'm scrolling. Then I
still haven't done that.
I'm like, 15 minutes, fucking hell. I'm like, hang on, I didn't do the thing I was supposed to do, so I have to go back onto it again. So I think, from that point of view, I hate how good it is at just sucking you in and rewarding you for just getting like a notification or whatever. In terms of like YouTube and stuff, I'm quite selective with what I consume. Like when I go onto YouTube, I like to watch things which I'm going to, no doubt, get educated by. I like to watch a lot of podcasts, anything which I'm going to learn something by. Instagram as well, it's a bit of a mess. I like now to employ as many people as possible to just run the platforms. Be the buffer. Yeah, so that I don't have to go onto it. Actually, it's a recent thing. I don't look at comments anymore.
Okay.
That used to still mess with your head. I think particularly like with the gym related videos, I would do a gym workout or try and do an educational video talking about like how to do this exercise or whatever. And then the comment section's all steroids. Why are you lying to us? Fake natty. And it's just like, I'm trying to help people. Yeah. The whole conversation is about whether or not I'm natural. And it used to annoy me so much that I actually pivoted away from making gym videos because it was so annoying.
Because no one's talking about your supposed steroid use in a lifestyle vlog in Marbella.
Yeah. So like the less gym related stuff in it, there's kind of less negativity.
Dude, I mean, that's something that's really true, that the audience gets to influence the direction of the creator in a lot of ways. And if they make them feel very uncomfortable about whatever it is that they're doing, they're going to start to lean away from that type of content.
It was one of the reasons why I got a hair transplant, because when I was losing my hair and it was thinning really badly, when I look back at it now, I was like, poof, like it was pretty bad. And I was like,
I don't ever remember it being that bad.
Was pretty bad. Was it? There was a 6-month phase where probably should have just shaved it. Like, you know how when everyone's losing their hair, they try and just cling onto it.
Yeah.
And you just got like little strands, just, you know, it's looking pretty pathetic and lonely. And the whole comment section was just about, he's losing his hair, like, oh, the steroids again. Like, oh. Wow. And it was just like, I'm making these videos, yet all everybody wants to talk about is the hair loss.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about this the last time that I had you on. I mentioned that I admire the fact that you've chosen to stay out of internet drama as best you can. I think that's partly both yours and my disposition, which is I'm just not very conflicty person. I quite like having been chill and peaceful and relaxing, and I'm not in it for the beef. But there's certainly, it feels extra unfair if you haven't made a career out of, like James Smith, right? My partner in Newtonic. He made a career calling people out for like shit fitness advice, or for lying about stuff, or for editing photos, or for being, you know, unethical. It's kind of open season for him, because guess what? Like that's the way that you went about things. I knew, like, as we were in the build-up launching this drink, and he started doing call-out videos about Prime and everything else. And I was like, James, you do know that by doing this, you're just making it open season on us. But anyway, for him, it's like, all right, well, you know, if you've spent a lot of time criticizing other people, it's kind of open season on you. That's not to say that people who've never criticized should be insulated from any criticism. But
it's just like, hang on, what have I done to you?
Yeah.
Like, why are you dragging me into this?
Yeah.
But in a way, it's kind of good in one sense because it's exposure. But
Yes.
when it is a person of authority talking shit about you, then they have a huge audience who do listen to every word that they say.
Big influence.
And it's kind of only one argument is being put forward. Of course, you could do a response video and give your side of it, but where does it end? And then they're like,
Never.
yes,
I've got him. Yeah. Yeah, but I think, even for the people that aren't content creators, everybody, especially with TikTok is so, the number of followers you have basically doesn't count. If you put an insane video on TikTok, guess what? There's 1 million likes on it. If it's really, really good and you catch the algorithm at the right time, et cetera, which means now that everybody, content creator or mother that happens to take a funny video of her dog doing something, is open to the entire internet saying, oh, that's animal abuse or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's just, everybody's open to criticism. And I think some kind of education about how to deal with criticism from strangers on the internet would probably be a pretty good thing for everybody to learn.
Yeah. I remember when I started with YouTube, I think whenever you're on a platform that people can post anonymously, they'll go harder. They'll be more relentless with what it is that they want to say. And I think that took me a bit of getting used to. And I almost had to learn, okay, I've got to develop thick skin here in order to just carry on with doing it. I mean, even the people who are like the nicest guys ever that you would just, and girls, you just think, how can you not like this person? Like, such a likable person. They're still getting hate for something.
Tons of distaste. Yeah. Well, there's an idea called the bystander effect. Have you heard of this?
No.
So you have a crime. Let's say somebody's being attacked, right, in the courtyard of a bunch of flats somewhere. And everybody that lives in the flats hears the attack going on, and there's someone, screaming for help or saying, please ring the police or whatever. All of the people think that one of the other people will do the right thing and call the police or whatever, the bystander effect. And there's kind of an anonymity equivalent here, which is when you know that you're not going to be found out, you can almost lean in and be way more mean. No one's going to come after you. You're not going to be held accountable for the things you say. If it's a burner account on YouTube, like, dude, some of the stuff, like anti-Semitism and stuff that's happened this year, on like random comment threads, and I'll see people talking in code about whatever reverse anti-Semitism. Crazy stuff.
This episode is brought to you by Element. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything that you need and nothing that you don't. It's a healthy alternative to sugary electrolyte drinks. It's got a science-backed electrolyte ratio of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. You might ask, what do I want with an electrolyte drink? Well, it'll regulate your appetite, it'll curb cravings, it'll help improve your brain function. And best of all, it tastes phenomenal. First thing in the morning, this orange element salt in water is outstanding. Your adenosine system that caffeine acts on isn't even active for the first 90 minutes of the day, so it's pointless having a morning coffee. Your adrenal system, which is what salt acts on, is active, so this will make you feel more alert, more awake, and improve your hydration. Best of all, they've got a no BS, no questions asked refund policy, so you can buy it, and if you do not like it for any reason, they will give you your money back. That's how confident they are that you'll love it. Head to drinklmnt.com/modernwisdom to get a free sample pack of all 8 flavors with your first box. That's drinklmnt.com/modernwisdom. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, then press here for the full episode in all its glory.